are you watching another Fantastic Four movie?
Yeah, I'm just praying that there can be something good that came out of all these. I have yet to succeed.
It is crazy just how bad these are. Are the comics just as bad as these?
Dude, are you kidding? Of course they weren't as bad as these movies. The Fantastic Four comics helped start the Marvel Universe as the way we know it today. Alright, you got me convinced on what I need to do now. Hello and welcome to another session of Therapy and Panels. Created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby at the time when DC Comics were doing well with their Justice League books, that publisher at the time, Martin Goodman, asked Stan Lee to create a new superhero team. At the time, feeling burnt out from comics, but inspired by his wife, Stan decided to write the story the way he wanted to. This started the beginning of the Marvel Universe as we know it today. So let's see about the early adventures of the Fantastic Four and what many believe to be the beginning of the Marvel Universe with the Fantastic Four #1. The cover is a classic that has been homaged and parodied so many times. I really only have two questions about it, really. One, how did Reed over here get trapped in all those ropes? And two, what the heck do you think becoming invisible quicker will do when the creature has you in its hands, Sue? Our story begins with a shadowy figure firing a flare out of a window. It forms the words, "The Fantastic Four." I guess that's one way to call your DoorDash order to your house. We then cut to Susan Storm having tea with a friend when she sees the flare, and this makes her decide to become invisible, ghost her friend, and hop into a cab, which she then hands the very confused driver a floating thing of cash to pay. Okay, if you were planning on paying for the ride, why go invisible? Just get in the cab. Elsewhere, we are introduced to Ben Grimm at a store, trying in vain to find a coat that doesn't explode upon contact with his very large shoulders. When the clerk sees the flare, Ben crashes out the store like an orange Rocky Kool-Aid man, rips up a manhole like it's a pizza box, and charges through the sewers like a ninja turtle. When he busts up into the street, he is right in the path of a taxi, which is then wrecked. Ben is okay. And from that, granted I'm not a cab driver, but through my experiences, if I went with something like that, I would just be like, well, day off. We then got to a mechanic tinkering with his hot rod at a service station when the flare turns into a flaming four. The man named Johnny Storm yells out, "Flame on," literally torching the car he was working on. I don't think insurance is going to cover spontaneous combustion due to superpowers as a thing. The military mistakes him for a flying barbecue and has to reluctantly melt some fighter jets on his way out. Just as a nuclear heat-seeking missile closes in. Overkill much, guys? Good lord. Johnny's flame starts to sputter like a dying birthday candle until an impossibly long pair of arms grab the missile and yeet it into the ocean. That stretchy savior is Reed Richards, the man behind the mysterious flare. He greets the team and tells them that there is a task that awaits us. A very fearful task. It's spring cleaning time here at my house, and good lord is this place huge. I'm gonna need all the help you can get. To beat the communists in the space race, Reed Richards' siblings, Sue and Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm, do what all rational people do. They sneak aboard an untested rocket ship. Ben warns that they don't have enough shielding from cosmic rays, but Sue calls him a chicken. And everyone knows that you don't back down after being called a chicken. In space, cosmic rays turn them into a body horror exhibit at Comic-Con. The autopilot lands the ship back on Earth. Now Sue can turn invisible, handy for skipping lines. Ben becomes a super strong rock monster who moonlights as a wrecking ball. Reed can stretch his body into wild shapes, perfect for reaching top shelves or starting a circus act. And Johnny, He's basically a human flamethrower with a pilot's license. They decide to use their powers for good, dubbing themselves the Fantastic Four. Then disaster strikes. Atomic plants in the Soviet Union, Australia, and South America are mysteriously attacked by cave-ins. Coincidentally, cave-ins are also occurring every time that Ben Grimm tries to use the restroom. Reed deduces that all the attack points are coming from a single location, Monster Isle, because nothing bad ever happens on an island with that name. The team jets over and is promptly attacked by a giant three-headed beast. Reed defeats it, but a cave-in separates the team, which is either a crisis or a team-building exercise. You make the call. Reed and Johnny fall into the Valley of Diamonds, which is beautiful but blinding. Enter the Mold Man here, who it is revealed he is the mastermind behind the chaos, who finally found a job that matches his no-sunlight lifestyle. He shares his tragic backstory. Rejected by society, he sought the center of the earth for peace, accidentally becoming a mold-themed warlord and decided to invade the surface. Honestly, it's a tale as told as time, with added mole men. Meanwhile, Ben is up on the surface wrestling a rock monster in what can only be described as live-action geology lessons. Sue and Ben reunite with Reed and Johnny, and they all listen to the Mole Man's evil TED Talk. He sicks his monsters on them, but Johnny creates a fiery distraction while the rest escape through a tunnel. Johnny seals it shut behind him, and knowing him, he probably did it with finger guns. The Fantastic Four escape in their jet, and Mole Man collapses Monster Island behind them in a classic "if I can't have it, no one will" moment. The team soars off into the sky, burnt, bruised, and in really entire need of a shower. So that was the first adventures of the Fantastic Four, and for my diagnosis, this was pretty good. During the times before this book, heroes were written to be too goody two-shoes perfection, and suddenly, once this came along, characters that act and sound like real people would during situations became a normal thing in comics. We even get some great dialogue for future issues to set up stories, such as the Thing never being a normal human ever again. Outside of just the shenanigans at the beginning of the book, it is a great comic. And that is all the time we have for today's session. I want to thank you all for attending. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I am the Super Guru, signing off. Let's all just pray that the MCU's Fantastic Four does much better things for the films.